Hi guys, it's Blackie. Okay, we're starting that series I've been talking about on cooking. This is camp cooking, or simple cooking as I like to call it. Now, I have thought long and hard about this, about how to share this experience with you, because I don't want it to become strictly a cooking channel and bore everybody else that's not interested in that, and I'm not really that keen on doing it as a big, huge 10-hour long video or something like that, because nobody's going to watch all that. So here's how I'm going to reach a compromise with that. This first video is I'm going to lay out the gear that I intend to use in this series and talk about the gear. That will hopefully eliminate questions later on over what kind of skillet, what kind of bush pot, what kind of canteen, what kind of stove, etc. We're going to look at the gear first. Then we're going to dive off. Every week I'm going to produce at least one, maybe two cooking videos. It depends on how closely they're related and how I can create one and then turn around and create the other one. Okay? We're going to jump around a bit rather than doing all breakfast, all lunches, all dinners, all fancy cooking like desserts and things like that, or baking breads or other meal components put together. Some things I'm going to pull right out of a cookbook and I'm going to show you where I got it and how to do it. The rest, down in the description box, I will put all components used and the recipe for you in the description box, so you can cut and paste that and print that off and create your own little version of this cookbook. Okay? That's the idea. Now, first off, when we're talking about cooking out here, and I'm sweating like a pig, guys, please forgive me, but it's 96 degrees and 100% humidity. We just had major storms come over us and the sun came out, and it's a sauna out here right quick. And I ran out to do this video for you guys, but truth is I'm sitting here with just sweat rolling off me, so please bear with me. Okay, I don't have tic de la roe, I just simply have sweat everywhere and I'm trying to keep it out of my eyes. Now, back to cooking for yourself some quick camp meal, like we've done in the past, where canteen cut spaghetti, or how to cook eggs in a potato chip bag and things like that. We're going to go back over those, because you may want to plug those in later on. I see it as a layer 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Layer 1, this is for you. This is something super simple for you to utilize at camp whenever you're out here doing things. It's just something I want to do on Friday night or Saturday night, to do something for me, okay? Where it's not just another can of beanie weenies or whatever. I want to cook. Well, like the canteen cup spaghetti and the canteen cup cobbler and things like that. That will be the canteen stuff, okay? That's level 1. That's like an individual. Level 2. Level 2 is going to be more than that. That may be a skillet meal or something like that, or a bush pot meal, where it's going to be one big meal for somebody that wants to eat well and then have some leftovers, or we're feeding 2, perhaps 3. Level 3 is where we're making a big pot of something to share with others, a contribution to a potluck or whatever, or simply for like in a hunting camp or something, where I'm going to make up this pot and several people are going to eat out of it during the day. Okay? And then level 4, that's where we're going to bring out Dutch ovens, and I'm going to show you how to cook the big stuff. And that's when we're going to cook, steaks and gravy, mashed potatoes. That's multi-pot. All of it will be able to be done on a fire or on a stove, depending on what your needs are, because I can't just say we're going to do campfire cooking, because you guys out west, you can't dare do any campfire cooking because it's just too big a fire risk. I understand. So I'm going to try to dance it around a little bit. So the fire heat source is going to be up to you. So I'm going to be cooking on fires. I'm going to be cooking on trangias. I'm going to be cooking on charcoal, because that's readily available, and you might be able to carry it out to a camp and dump a bag of charcoal on the ground and make a little thing and build that up and use that as a cooking thing. Yes, we're going to do that, because that's actually very viable in a camp setting, especially like now when it's so hot, where I ain't got to gather up all the firewood. I can take a bag of charcoal out here, get it going, poof, and be able to put my pots over it and cook and stay at a distance where it's not flames. I ain't got to wait for all that heat to dissipate. I got coals quickly, and that's the advantage of charcoal or other cooking apparatus. Plus, how you, the student, need to practice these recipes. As I've said many, many times, never take a recipe to the field you ain't tried at home first. So, I want you to experiment with this at home. Try it on your home stove first. That's when you learn the nuances of, I went too long and I burned that, or I didn't cook that enough, and you get the rhythm of it. Once you learn the recipe, then you shift to a different heat source. There's too many variables. The most variable, of course, and the greatest skill is to campfire cooking on an actual campfire, because you got to regulate the heat by intuition, physical presence, knowing that that's too much heat or that's too little heat, and you've got to be able to add and subtract heat as you need. One step removed from that is on charcoal, a given heat that is sort of regulatable. Okay. One step removed is a stove. Now I can regulate the heat. One step removed from that is an actual cooking set, an actual Coleman stove or something like that, where I can go up or down the heat scale just by sliding or turning a little knob, see. So that's too many variables to, am I doing the right heat? I don't know how to do this recipe, da-da-da. How to become a good cook, practice at home. You're going to take the recipe and you're going to practice it at home. Find out, do you like it? If you love it, great, practice it. If you go, yeah, whoa, we don't like this one, Blackie, get rid of that one. Hand it off to some friend, say, you tried. You know, share with somebody and see if they like it. And maybe it's a matter of taste, or maybe it's a matter that you just didn't get the sequence right, see. And you'll find that out. So, with this rather long intro, now I'm going to shift over to inside at my table, and I'm going to lay out all my gear piece by piece, and we're going to talk about it, why the advantage to use it, what to look for. Now, if you don't have this kit, do not hesitate to use your modern cook set at home, your boilers, your pots and pans, your skillets, to practice this recipe. Don't think you've got to run out and buy just this gear. This is good gear. But then I've got the experience, I use this gear. Okay? I don't want this to become a gear race where, oh boy, Blackie says I got to have that Pathfinder camp stove or that Pathfinder cook pot. No, you know, I want you to adapt to it. And I cooked for so many years on whatever skillet I could find that, you know, a lot of times I'd go by the Goodwill and pick up a steel skillet, and that was the one I took camping. When it got finally trashed no good, I donated it back to the recycle bin and went and got me another one. You know, a Dutch oven. Most of my Dutch ovens were hand-me-downs or second-hands for a long time until I got good with them, and then I invested in my own. So my 3 Dutch ovens that you're going to see in this series are mine, and I've had going on 20 years, you know. Skillets, home skillets are fine. Cast iron, aluminum, stainless, we'll talk about all those. Cook pots, aluminum, stainless, we'll talk about that. Bush pots, we're going to talk about that. So this is more than just recipes. I want to give you my experience on how to be a camp cook. Something I don't get to do that much anymore, to be honest with you, because usually when we're out, everybody's so busy talking and everything that it's just not done as much. But I want to pass on that knowledge before it's lost, you know what I mean? And very few people today cook anything. They just heat something up. They dump can A, can B, and etc. And a lot of my recipes are going to use that idea because I know you don't know how to process a lot of the raw components. So rather than how you soak lima beans overnight in baking water to get them to puff up so you can use them tomorrow, we're just going to use a can of lima beans. You know, something you can buy off the shelf. Early biscuits are going to be canned biscuits. Like I've showed in the past how to making pan biscuits. Then we'll talk later on about how to make it from scratch, and we'll do that once or twice so you got an idea. This is a big undertaking for me, guys, and this is going to take a lot of videos. This is going to be, you know, it's a little daunting, I'll be straight up with you, because I know what I've got in here and the knowledge of experience, but how do I get it to you in a meaningful, entertaining way to do it where it's fun? when I started the percussion revolver series, and I went to answering a couple of questions, now we're, I believe, over 100 videos in that series, and I've probably still got another 50 to fully complete what I know and what I'd like to share. It's just waiting for it to cool off a little bit so I'm not standing here sweating. This cooking is almost that big. We've got to deal with sweets, treats, breakfasts, lunches, dinners, things you can cook and then take with you, things that you can bring from home as leftovers and incorporate them into making into this. It's a whole big thing, and I hope you enjoy it. So, this is part 1, the intro, and part 2 will be Sunday, when we will go through all of the components that I'm going to use in this, so you know that where we're at, and I'll answer the gear questions now. Hopefully, this will be something you enjoy. Please leave any questions or comments down below, and if there's some recipe I've done in the past you want me to respin, or Blackie, could you show how to, I'll do my best, or I'll tell you straight up, I don't know how to do it. Okay? Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.